The following excerpt is from Alpha Awareness Training by Wally Minto. If you would like to receive more abundance in your life, then you should become aware of the universal law of the mind that controls what you receive as you go through life. That law simply states, as we have heard it many times, as you give, so shall you receive. That sounds very simple, but because of its simplicity, few laws have been so grossly misunderstood. Most people believe that this law means that if you give good, you will receive good in return, and if you give bad, you will receive bad in return. But this law does not say what you give, you shall receive. The law says, as you give, so shall you receive. It is this misunderstanding that may cause an individual to give his life for a cause and receive death in return. It's this misunderstanding that may cause a person to give himself to his family and receive divorce in return, or cause a doctor to give his life to health and receive illness in return. This law has been stated in many different ways, and perhaps it might be more meaningful for us if we used it in one of its other forms. Your rewards in life are in exact proportion to your services rendered. Many times in this discussion, I have students who really become aware of the meaning of this law for the first time, and many times their reaction is, "It sounds great. I think I'll start using it." But you cannot start using this law because you have been using it all your life. You have been living under this law since the day you were born. Now you may say, this law isn't really truth because I have been working and giving service 16 hours a day for years and I'm still living in poverty. But that is because you don't understand the law. Remember, the law says, as you give, so shall you receive. Your rewards in life are in exact proportion to your services rendered. The law does not tell you what reward to claim. It gives you the freedom, and you may claim your reward in any manner you desire. A reward is anything you claim in return for your service. In other words, a reward is something you receive in return for something you've given. Let's take a simple service, such as mowing a lawn, and see how many different ways different people will claim the reward for the same service. Let's take an individual coming home from work Thursday evening with plans to go downtown with his wife and buy a new freezer. When he is still about a block from home, he notices one of his neighbors, a little 67-year-old lady, out trying to mow her lawn. So out of the goodness of his heart, he decides to stop and take an hour to mow the lady's lawn. Now, I cannot tell you how much this service is worth, because the same service under different conditions may be worth different amounts in reward. Ordinarily, we might say that an hour of lawn mowing might be worth $3 to $10. A little note, this was obviously written in the 1970s. But if the lawn was 8 inches high and your little neighbor lady is celebrating her 68th birthday tomorrow with 20 or 30 of her friends and relatives coming over, then mowing the lawn might be worth $50. The way you decide the amount of the reward is to put yourself in the place of the person for whom you are doing this service. Then ask yourself, how much would it be worth to you if someone did the same service for you? So the example we are using now is the man mowing the little neighbor lady's lawn the day before her birthday, and I'm sure you would agree that service would be worth $50. I'm certainly not saying the lady would pay $50, I'm only saying that it would be worth $50. Now let's really open up our awareness and take a look at some of the different ways you might claim a $50 reward for mowing a lawn. You may claim this $50 reward in praise. When you've finished mowing the lawn, you go up and knock on the door so the little lady can come out and see what a perfect job you've done. She tells you how beautiful the yard looks and what a wonderful person you are for mowing the lawn for her. Then she says, "Let me pay you for it." "Oh no," you say, "I wouldn't think of taking any pay." And again, she tells you what a kind and wonderful person you are for taking the time to mow the lawn. And you say, oh, that's all right. I was just going to buy a freezer for the family tonight, but I'll put it off until some other time. And then she tells you what a generous person you are for sacrificing the time that you are going to use to do something for yourself and your family. Oh, that's okay, you say. But do you think I mowed close enough to those shrubs? Oh, yes, the little lady says. That's the best mowing job I've ever had done. You really did a perfect job. And the conversation goes on like this for 3 or 4 minutes, the little lady giving you praise and you feeding her lines, causing her to give you more praise. Well, after about 3 minutes of praise, you have claimed your $50 reward. You have been paid in full. You see, praise, like gold, is a very scarce commodity. There's not much praise going around in the world. Therefore, it's a high-priced commodity. And it only takes about 3 minutes of praise to equal a $50 reward. If you should stand there and claim 5 or 6 minutes of praise, you have just gone into debt. You have overdrawn your account, and you are now going to have to give more service someplace to balance that account. Now, it's okay to claim rewards in praise. Everyone needs praise, but understand that praise is a high-priced commodity, and it takes a lot of service to get a few minutes of praise. You may also claim this same $50 reward in illness. When you finish mowing the lawn, you don't even wait for the little lady to thank you. When you get home, your wife asks where you've been, and your answer is, oh honey, I stopped and mowed the lawn for a little lady down the street, and I got all hot and sweaty out in the hot sun, and now my body is getting chilled, and I feel like I'm going to catch a cold. And sure enough, you catch your cold. Understand that illness is a low-priced commodity. There is a lot of it going around. And if you want to claim your reward in illness, $50 will easily buy you a 10-day cold. You may also mow the lawn and claim the same $50 reward in health and relaxation. When the little lady comes out to pay you, you say, no thank you, I've already been paid. You know, when I came home from the office, I was all uptight and tense, and after mowing the lawn, I feel completely relaxed. And when you get home and your wife asks you where you've been, you say, oh, I stopped and mowed the neighbor lady's lawn, and I really got a lot of good exercise. I worked up a good sweat, and I really feel great. I think I'll go take a nice cold shower before dinner. Your reward is $50 in perfect health. You may mow the same lawn and claim your $50 reward in tiredness. When you get home and the wife asks you where you've been, you say, oh, I'm just exhausted. I stopped and mowed the lawn for the little lady down the street, and out in the hot sun I worked up a sweat, and I was trying to hurry and get home in time for dinner, and I'm so tired now I don't even feel like eating. And all evening you're so tired you can't even enjoy watching TV. In fact, you'll still be tired when you awaken in the morning. You see, tiredness is not a scarce commodity. There's a lot of tiredness going around, and believe me, $50 worth of tiredness is going to wear you out for a day or two. It's pretty easy to pick out the people who claim many of their rewards in tiredness. Even when they get up in the morning after a long night of restful sleep, they are still tired. You see, because tiredness is such a low-priced commodity, you don't have to give much service to find yourself exhausted all the time when you claim rewards in tiredness. You may mow the lawn and claim the $50 reward in sympathy, in being a martyr. If you are a martyr, you're always doing so many things for other people that you never have time to do things for yourself. When the little lady comes out to pay you, you say, no thank you, but I'm really going to have to rush now because I'll have to work until midnight to get everything done I've got to do at home. And the little lady gives you more sympathy, telling you she just doesn't know how you ever get all those things done that you do. She doesn't know anybody who works as hard as you do all the time and does so many things for other people. Understand, it's okay to be a martyr. But if you're going to be a martyr, then you have to give a great deal of service because sympathy is also a scarce commodity. it's pretty hard to find. That's why martyrs are such hard workers. Isn't it true? If you really want to get a job done, you give it to a martyr. When you ask a martyr to do something for you, they always say, "Well, I don't know how I'll ever get it done. I've got so much to do." And so you tell them, "Okay, I won't have you do it. I'll get someone else to do it." "Oh, no, they say. "I'll do the job." I mean, they know if they don't work day and night, they're not going to get enough sympathy. So if you want to claim the rewards in sacrifice and sympathy, you really must give a lot of service. You might mow the lawn and claim your $50 reward in a headache. When you arrive home and your wife asks you where you've been, your answer is, "Honey, I stopped and mowed the lawn for a friend down the street and I got overheated and now I've got a horrible headache coming on." And sure enough, you claim your reward in a splitting headache. And your headache will probably last quite a while because there's a big supply of headaches in the world. Headaches are such a low-priced commodity. It's amazing how many rewards are claimed in headaches as we go through life. You may mow the same lawn and claim your $50 reward in criticism. If you are one who claims many of your rewards in criticism, you will probably find that you start claiming your reward even before you've done the service. As you are getting out of the car to go over and offer to mow the lawn, you're thinking to yourself, "No matter how well I mow her lawn, she's not going to be satisfied." And sure enough, when you finish mowing the lawn, the little lady comes out to look and says, "Well, could you mow a little closer to the shrubs over there?" And as you're driving home, you say to yourself, "I knew it. No matter how well I did it, she wasn't going to be satisfied." But your criticism won't stop there because you see, criticism is a low-priced commodity. There's a lot of criticism going around. And so the moment you arrive home, your wife angrily says, "Where have you been? You told me you were coming home early tonight and we were going to shop for a freezer. I've had dinner ready for an hour and now it's all cold and it's too late to buy the freezer." And this criticism will probably cause you to awaken in the morning with such an attitude that when you go to work, the boss and people you work with will criticize you too. Understand, you can get a lot of criticism in life for just a little bit of service. It's a low-priced commodity. What you should understand is that when you receive criticism, it is because you claimed it. If you choose, you may claim this same $50 reward in happiness. When you come home and the wife asks you where you've been, you tell her, "Honey, I stopped and mowed the lawn for a little neighbor lady and I just feel great. I feel like I've really done something extra tonight. In fact, I feel like taking you out to dinner and to a movie." And you claim your $50 in happiness. You may also claim this $50 reward for mowing the lawn in friendship. When the little lady comes out to pay you, you say, "No, thank you. I just did it because we're friends." And you will find that your relationship between you and your neighbor will improve and become much closer because you've just claimed $50 worth of friendship. You may mow the lawn and claim your $50 reward in gaining weight. When you come home after mowing the lawn, you've missed supper, it's already over, you're feeling kind of sorry for yourself, so you treat yourself to 2 dishes of ice cream and half a dozen cookies, and sure enough, you gain weight. You may also claim the $50 reward in poverty. When you offer to mow the lady's lawn, she tells you, "That's wonderful. I would be happy to pay you $10 for mowing my lawn this evening because tomorrow I'm celebrating my birthday and all my friends and relatives are coming over." And you say, "Oh no, I wouldn't think of taking any pay for it." Well, you've just received your first $10 worth of poverty. But understand, if you're going to claim this whole reward in poverty, you still have $40 to go. So sure enough, as you're mowing around the rose bushes, you tear the $20 slacks you've been wearing. Now that's $30 that you've claimed in poverty. Because of giving the $50 service of mowing the lawn, you arrive home an hour late, just in time to see your 10-year-old getting the cat down out of the tree with your new $20 fishing pole, and he breaks the tip. Now the account is balanced. You have claimed your $50 reward in poverty. If you are in the habit of claiming many of your rewards in poverty, you'll probably find it very difficult to accept money from other people. Stop and think. How many times in the last year have you refused to let someone pay for your cup of coffee or buy your lunch? You may also claim your $50 reward for mowing the lawn in cash. Understand, though, if you're going to claim the whole reward in cash, then you must be sure not to claim any part of the $50 reward in any of the other ways we have mentioned. Now you may say, but how? How can you receive $50 for mowing the lawn even if it is worth twice that much to the little lady? You may receive your $50 simply by using the law. Your rewards in life are in exact proportion to your services rendered. You have just rendered a service that is worth $50. If you claim that reward in $50 cash and do not claim it in any other manner, your $50 will come to you. You do not have to be concerned about how you will receive your $50. It may come to you in a very unexpected way. If you're going to claim the $50 in cash, you start by accepting the $10 from the little lady, which is allowing her to give a service. Remember, this is the evening that you were going shopping to buy a new freezer, but because you spent the time mowing the lawn, you now have to put it off until tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, when you go into the store to purchase your freezer, you find out that that afternoon freezers were put on sale and they are marked down $40. You now have $50 cash that you would not have had you not stopped and mowed the lawn. Now please don't misunderstand the concept we're talking about and feel like you should not compliment or praise another person because they might want to claim the rewards in cash or some other manner. You see, if you should stop complimenting or praising other people, you are stopping a very valuable service and thereby eliminating the rewards that you may receive in return. Quite often after lecturing on this subject, I have a person come up to me and say he'd like to tell me how much he enjoyed the lecture, but he knows I don't want to receive my rewards in praise. Realize when you are complimenting another person, you are giving a service. It's up to the other person as to how much of that service he accepts. Now, for the same reason, don't try and stop other people from praising you. When someone gives you a compliment, don't say, "Hey, wait a minute, don't give me any compliments. I want to receive my rewards in cash." Somebody can praise you all day long, and it's up to you and how you react that causes you to claim or not claim that praise as a reward. Please understand, I am only encouraging you to claim your rewards in the ways you desire, and stop claiming your rewards in such things as headaches, tiredness, illness, depression, poverty, gaining weight, and things you don't want. Let me share with you some personal experiences. Perhaps it will make it a little clearer. Many years ago, I was a professional public speaker and a much more polished speaker than I am today. Nearly every time I gave a lecture, I received a standing ovation. I never got much money for lecturing, but I got a lot of standing ovations. I really enjoyed the standing ovations because I was also on a strong ego trip at the time, and I claimed most of my rewards in praise. Then one day I asked myself, I wonder how many standing ovations there are in the world today. And I thought, even if there are several thousand, that means they're pretty scarce. In other words, if you divide several thousand standing ovations among 4 billion people on this planet, you would find that standing ovations are a scarce commodity and therefore high-priced. At the same time, I decided to stop claiming so many of my rewards as praise from standing ovations. I don't get nearly as many standing ovations today, but since that time I have received more than $3,000 for a single lecture. Today, I keep my life in balance by the things I claim as rewards. I claim some in cash, some in praise, some in constructive criticism, some in happiness, relaxation, friendship, whatever I feel my life needs at the present time to keep it in balance. Now, if you really want to understand and use this law, as you give, so shall you receive, your rewards in life are in exact proportion to your services rendered. Then take from 30 to 60 days to give it some physical application. You may do this simply by getting a notebook and titling it Service and Rewards. Then at the top of each page, put the words service, value. As an example, service, mowing neighbor's lawn, value, $50. Then use the rest of the page to keep a record of how you claimed the reward. Use this for 30 to 60 days to keep a record for the services you render and how you claim the rewards. For instance, if the lady thanked you and praised you when you finished mowing the lawn, and that made you feel good and was worth $10 to you, put down praise $10. Now you have a $40 balance to collect. When you go home, if you tell your wife how hard you worked and she gives you a little praise and a little sympathy, and you tell her how stiff your muscles are and she rubs your back and fixes you a special dessert, ask yourself how much all of that was worth. If it was really worth $20 to you, then put down $20. As a result of this little extra service you've done of mowing the lawn, you sit down and just relax for the rest of the evening and don't accomplish anything else. Then ask yourself, how much was that relaxation really worth? How much enjoyment did I get out of it? Was that worth $10? If so, put down relaxation $10. You've now claimed $40 of that reward and you have $10 remaining. Decide then how you want to claim the last $10. For 30 to 60 days, keep a record of every service you give that you are not immediately paid for. The manner in which you set the amount of the reward for your service is by simply putting yourself in the other person's place and asking yourself, how much would that service be worth for me? Now please don't let your poverty complexes give you a hang-up about attaching a price tag to your services. You see, the reason for putting this down on paper and putting a price tag on your services and keeping a record of how you claim the reward is simply to make you aware of what you are claiming as your rewards. If you will do this on paper for 30 to 60 days, it will amaze you how many times you are giving a service and receiving a headache or criticism or depression or anger or something you really don't want in return. If you dislike your job, you probably feel like you are underpaid. Well, open up your awareness and understand this because you may be limiting your abundance. If you hate your job, you are being overpaid. If you hate the work you're doing, you are creating frustration and tension in all those people working with you or around you. You are not only limiting your own productivity, but you are also causing all those people working around you to be less productive. You are not only robbing your boss of your production, you are causing those people working with you to be less efficient, and therefore are causing them to rob the boss. And so you are being overpaid, and your account is going to be balanced. If you are a person who hates your work, you are also probably a person who is always incurring unexpected bills. Your car is always breaking down. You're always losing things. Every time you buy something new, it seems to quit working 1 week after the guarantee is up. This is simply the law balancing your account. I can offer 2 solutions, and you will find that either solution is equally as easy to accomplish. You may either learn to enjoy the work you are doing or quit and get into some other type of work. You are probably already giving a great deal of service. Why not expand your awareness and start claiming as your rewards those things which will give you happiness, success, and peace of mind? They are yours for the claiming.